It's a top versus bottom clash as league leaders Mumbai take on lowly Punjab in match number 36 of the Indian T20 League. And joining me to debate, discuss and dissect this matchup are Ayaz, Memon and Mandira Lalvani. Ayaz, Mandira, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Ayaz, so what's in your mind going into this one? And we would love to go into your player picks after that as well.
Yeah, but you set the thing up. You said, top of the table versus bottom of the table. And there's a reason why. I look at Punjab's team on paper. It's a damn good team. You have to keep Chris Gayle out for a while. You got Maxwell, you got Nisham, you got Chris Jordan, T20 specialist. Apart from Rahul and Agarwal and Shami and Bishnoi and, I don't want to run through the whole squad, but this is a very, very strong team. And why are they messed up? Unlike Mumbai, who are top of the table and defending champions, so we know what their strengths are. I think Punjab are in a quite a sorry situation even now, despite winning the last match. And the last match is actually an example of what I'm going to tell you. They don't have the self-belief to win. They don't have the conviction. Mar ke jeete. The last match they should have coasted to, huffing and puffing, saans phul gayi. They won off the last ball, despite a great start, and then the partnership between Rahul and Gayle, and then it takes Nicholas Pooran to come out there and, not make sure that you don't get into another super over and another heartbreak. So it tells me that there's something, very vulnerable about this team, and which has, I think, to do with pressure. It has to do with pressure. The inability to absorb that kind of pressure, which is strange to me because you've got Anil Kumble as a coach, some guy who absorbed pressure in his entire 18-year-old career. And then you got, Rahul, who's top of the pops in the batting lineup, Mayank Agarwal, who's just behind the top of the pops, and then you've got now Chris Gayle come in and turn back father clock, turn back the time, and make a half century. So they've got pretty decent bowling attack. Last match, M. Ashwin, Bishnoi, they bowled really well. Unless I think, and I know it sounds harsh to say this, unless Punjab get out of this defeatist or a very negative mindset, we don't know if we can win, they're going to get overwhelmed by Mumbai. Mumbai are so like a juggernaut now. Number 1 to 8 batsmen run bana rahe. They're all making runs. All 5 bowlers are taking wickets. Once in a while somebody gets pasted. You got Pollard coming into bowl. Who doesn't give away runs and picks up wickets. They're damn good on the field. And it's all stemming from self-belief. Apart, winning is a habit and it's coming from self-belief. So quickly pick my players, because Punjabi Kudi will have a lot to say on what Punjab should do. So I will pick Rahul and Agarwal, both of them again as my 2 players, because this opening partnership I love to watch them bat together. They're fabulous to even see, and they've been putting up such big scores, opening partnership, which have been messed up subsequently by the team, but that's a different matter. And then I picked Bishnoi, because I see more and more wrist spinners playing a very big role. So these are my 3 from Punjab. For Mumbai, Quinton de Kock, he's hitting big booming form. That's a big worry. So he is now competing with Rohit Sharma. Ke kaun zyada tez banayega? Who will hit longer? Who will hit more often? Then I've got Jasprit Bumrah. He's been absolutely fabulous in this tournament. We talk of Rabada and Jofra Archer, but Bumrah is just about there. By the time the tournament finishes, he might be the number 1. We don't know. And the third is Rahul Chahar, another leg spinner, wrist spinner, who in the previous match picked up 2 wickets and just turned the game around. So those are my picks from this match.
2 wickets in 1 over in his first over and conceding just 3 runs, as Ayaz mentioned. Mandira, with you.
Right. Punjab ki Kudi doesn't have much left to say, because Ayaz has actually said it all, and it's absolutely right. I think their last match against Bangalore, they had to do a lot to do with the fact that Bangalore messed up. So I won't say it was entirely luck. Of course, Punjab on paper is a fantastic team. We've been saying it from the beginning, but there's just too many things that are not working. Yes, Chris Gayle did fire on that one day, but he's equally erratic, and the consistency is a big problem with him. Consistency is a big problem with Glenn Maxwell. Rakeel Rahul's been scoring consistently, but slowly. Last match, we did see some big hits. Will he be able to be consistent? So, that one word that comes out at you from the Punjab side is consistency. It's just lacking altogether. And as Ayaz rightly pointed out, at the end, they had 2 overs to go. They had 7 runs to make to win the match. 2 overs to go, 9 wickets in hand, and it took them their last ball to win that match. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely crazy. If you can't hack that kind of pressure, it doesn't add up. As far as Mumbai is concerned, where do you even you can't fault them in any way. Think about it this way. They've got Kyron Pollard, who may not necessarily bat in every match because uski bari nahi aati. But still, there's no reason for them to promote him up the order just because they want to see him play. They've got that kind of strength right down. I mean, we've been saying it from the beginning, so there's no point in my just saying it again and again. But I think Mumbai is a far superior side. And I'm just to pick my 3 players for Punjab, definitely Chris Gayle, the universe boss. Let's see how he proceeds in the tournament. And I hope for Punjab's sake that he continues his form. KL Rahul, to see whether he keeps up with the big knocks. And third would be Glenn Maxwell. Interesting to see him opening the bowling. Again, his role keeps chopping and changing. I think I read a couple of interviews where he said that he's confused, or he doesn't. There's still flux as far as he's concerned. Is he coming into bat at number 5? His roles keep getting changed. He may just be making excuses, and it's because there's been a lot of expectation out of Glenn Maxwell, and rightfully so prior to this. But we're still to see that a proper contribution with the bat, which is what he's probably been paid those big bucks for. So those are my 3 for Punjab. As far as Mumbai is concerned, definitely Rahul Chahar of the leg spinners. I think he's very subtle in his variations. It's not that the typical googly or definitely way off the line and length. He goes in that narrow corridor. I think he's very precise. He's accurate. He's got pace in his delivery. So I think Rahul Chahar could be troublesome for the opening pair, especially, which is Punjab's main chance of scoring big. Then, of course, the opening pair of Rohit Sharma and Quinton de Kock, again, amazing. And I think the return of Nathan Coulter-Nile has been pretty interesting for Bombay. Not that they were really missing him with James Pattinson on the side, but with Nathan Coulter-Nile being back on the side, I think that'll trouble Punjab even more. And just generally, you struggle to pick out 3 from Bombay because you want to put everybody on that list.
Thank you, Mandira. Ayaz, so Punjab had just beaten Bangalore, albeit after nearly becoming the architect of their own downfall. But if they do end up defeating Mumbai, although the odds might be heavily stacked against them, do you actually see a way for Punjab back in this tournament?
So I'll answer that. But first thing first, just taking up from what Mandira said about Mumbai, Mumbai, such perfection. Apart from the potholes and the flooding in the monsoons, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Mumbai. So now to answer your question, I think it will be a huge shot in the arm for Punjab if they get past Mumbai. It's a huge, it would be kind of dissipating not just a champion team or the defending champions, but also getting into a mindset that might be very destructive for other teams. Because Punjab have the arsenal, and they might just find a way as a path to get into the playoffs.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ayaz. Mandira, who do you see coming out on top in this contest?
I would be anything. I mean, I'd be really silly to say Punjab because it's definitely going to be Bombay. I don't think there's a matchup. But however, if they pull off a heist somehow, I think it'll be a huge boost of confidence. And what Ayaz had mentioned right at the start is what Punjab does not seem to see that they have a good side. They're just not convincing in any performance. And maybe it's a complete lack of confidence to see them crumble the way they do repeatedly. So if they somehow, by some miracle, pull off that heist, I think it'll be phenomenal for Punjab. But I don't see Mumbai letting this one go. So I think Mumbai for sure.
Ayaz, I'm slightly wary of asking this question to you. Who do you see coming out on top?
It begs the question, doesn't it? Who's going to come out on top? Well, I mean, look, Mumbai, as I mentioned, Mumbai is like a juggernaut now, and it would actually be a big surprise if they lost. Not that Punjab is a bad team, but the momentum, the trend, the players in form, and I think also Mumbai is a very, we talk about the flair of the Mumbai team, but they're also it's a very studied team. They do a lot of, study about the opposition, all opposition, and they have, in my opinion, they have different plans for different teams, and that's been working for them splendidly. They spend a lot of time and energy through their support staff in getting their act right. Now this is T20, anything can still happen, but Mumbai puts in, it's not just Maidan pe utar sab kuch kar diya. There's a lot of effort that is going in behind the scenes, which is reflected in the way the consistency of this team over the past, maybe 10 years. Leave aside the first 2-3 years, the last 10 years, Mumbai have been perhaps the most consistent team.
Fantastic. So that's a wrap for this preview. Thank you so much to Ayaz and Mandira for their splendid punditry. And thank you so much to all our viewers for their splendid loyalty as you continue staying tuned on our One Play Sports networks. We do look forward to your company for future previews as well. Until next time, stay safe, take care, and cheers.